G'day humans, Chris Stead here. I'm on the road. I'm up at the Nightcap Ridge in the west of Byron Bay. I've been with the Dometic crew here trying out some of their new product range, including their tents, and hanging out with this bloke, Owen Wright, who is the ambassador for Dometic, also Australian surfing legend, and just to make you feel a bit embarrassed, mate, a personal hero of mine. Now, mate, obviously you spent a lot of time on the tour, and you were telling us the other night that, you know, you kind of felt like you needed a new hobby and fell into camping, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I camped a lot when I was younger, all the way up to about 20, and that was when I was qualified for the world tour itself. And I basically left off, that was it. And then I reconnected with Dometic, and yeah, I was looking for a hobby and connected with Jamie and Dometic, and I was back out. And
obviously entering a bit of a new phase in your life now.
Yeah.
Young kids, I believe your oldest is about to turn 6.
Yep.
So that was a large part of it for you as well, the family camping concept?
Well, yeah, so I've so work related, like on the tour, it's just, you know, if you're not trying to surf better or train or, you know, next trip or internationally or jet lagged, there's no time for hobbies. And I was like, okay, what can I do with my kids? Well, I want to get a hobby back in my life. I just recovered from, you know, three years out of a head injury, so it's just starting to kind of feel that freshness of like, I want to start living again. You know, it's not about the recovery anymore. This is about starting to get those experiences back in your life. And man, camping popped up, and it's just been an absolute game changer. Me and my son have had our father-son trips. Now I take the whole family. As you would have seen with Dometic's range, it's got the big family tents, it's got the rooftop tents, and yeah, it's got a whole bunch of different ranges that just makes that easy.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we've spoken a lot this weekend about the consumer insights you guys have done. You had obviously a big break. I know as a father myself, you know, there's fears around going camping that you got to worry about. So I guess, can you talk us through a bit maybe about what your apprehensions were at first when you started to get back into camping after such a break? And also, I believe you had a pretty wild experience with the first camping trip you guys did with Dometic.
Yeah. No, we've had some cool experiences, but yeah, getting back into it, I was a little bit nervous. We'd done one camping trip, me and my wife, and Vali was about 1, and when we didn't go again. And then I picked it back up as a father-son thing to begin with, but I picked it up with the Dometic products. And after the first weekend, you know, I got to the campsite and I was all, you know, stressed and rushed. How am I going to get, you know, this rooftop up in time and get the barbecue set up and cook? And I was literally got there, had enough time, like picked him up from school, had enough time, 2.5 hour drive, and seriously, we went for a swim. I pressed a button as the automated tent just folded out on top of the roof, and I was like, what else is there left to do? And just cook some sausages on the barbecue, and that was it. So straight away, I started to feel this ease with camping, and that when I came back from that, I was like, I think I can do this with my wife again. I think I can do this with 2 kids, and yeah, so it's evolved into that for me. But yeah, our first Dometic camp trip, man, that thing was wild. We had like a mini hurricane hit whilst me and my son are up in the rooftop tent, and man, I was freaking. Like there was trees all around. We had other people camping around us, and they just left their campsite. They just drove out, and I'm going, oh no, this tent's going to fold in half on top of the roof. What's going to happen? Like all your mind just start buzzing, and yeah, I remember just like jumping over the top of Ali, just holding strong, and then it passed, and tent one piece. I still use the tent now, and I was just like, wow, I survived that. It was pouring rain, howling wind, and yeah, I was like, all right, well, let's put it to the test. Looks like I'm good to go for the rest of it.
You know, I guess a lot of people that will be watching you and listening to you right now will be, you know, like myself, people who want to go do surf trips, which I'm assuming is that you do a lot of your camping is to go find some waves. So we've got some of the Dometic Go range here. Can you just talk us through how you use this product when you're doing those trips? For the girls and boys out there that'll be watching going, yeah, I want to take some of this gear and follow Owen out into the dunes.
Yeah, so yeah, the Dometic Go range for me has been an absolute game changer. You know, I don't know if you've looked in the back of a surfer's car or anyone, you go to the beach with kids, it's just, there's stuff everywhere. So for us, hard box there, that has been a game changer. Everything I just throw in that, and that just saves all the clutter scattered out through the car. Sunscreen, wax, spare leggies, kids' toys, like, the ones, your buckets and spades and whatnot, they all go in that. And obviously for me, like, I love going to the beach and taking a couple drinks. For me, if it's an afternoon and we're not going down long, I take this one here. It's the 10 litre. It's got an inside packaging here, which keeps it cool. And I just throw an ice brick in this, and out comes your beer. And this is like pretty small. That's how I use this one. But then if I'm going to the beach with the family, I put the lunch, the drinks, everything in this thing here, and that's 20 litre. It's got the cooler inside as well. Put a little ice brick in there, and then I'll be down the beach for hours, like 4 hours. I often put my daughter to sleep down at the beach for nap time, and we just take this down, and that's our lunch for the day. Other than that, in the back of the car, obviously you can fill this up here. It's Dometic's water can, and it's pretty heavy, but the best thing about it, it's got this little tap on it. If I press it right, or maybe double tap. There we go. And you've got water in the back of your car, but I use it to wash my feet and wash my face and have a little like rinse off after a surf. When there's no not every beach you come in from there's a shower coming in, so I use it for that as well. So that doesn't leave the back of my car. I'll just fill out with water, and I just use it for a shower, and all the rest of those good things.
Yeah, one of the impressive things I saw when we first got to this event today, this weekend, was having everything packed in the back of the boot.
Yeah.
I know you've got a bit of space up here, but I think for a lot of consumers, just how this stuff all packs down. And I believe the hydration flask fits into this, is that correct?
Yeah, the hydration flask fits into that box, the 20 litre fits into the box, the 10 litre fits into the box. So this all just goes into the hard box. If you want to put that in the garage or storage, that's set, whip it back out, put it straight into the back of your car. You might have seen earlier when you first arrived, there was 2 chairs, a bench seat, a table that comes with all this Dometic Go kit, and all this stuff here, and that's all fits in the back of a car, and that was in the back of a Volvo. And it depends on what car you got. Myself with the Cruiser, it's a bit more space, but it fits just as easy. So.
Yeah, and this one in particular, one of the features that really impressed me was the ability to tie it down and still open the lid.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're going to throw it on the roof and you're just trying to access something like your wax,
yeah,
it's got to help.
Yeah, well, I see Chipper Wilson ties his to his roof, and because it's got the strap points, and you can still access it. You don't have to unstrap it just to get it off your roof, just to open it. You can just get up there, open it, and peel it off. And I see Chipper Wilson do that with his all the time, and he's another Dometic ambassador there and another surfer. So, they're so versatile, and you can use them however you feel that you want to use them. And I think they really have put some thought into like the consumer and what they really want. So,
final question. Now that you've been you've got back into camping and spent a fair bit of hands-on time with the product, has seeing what the product can do inspired you to push yourself to do something else with the camping experience? Like, have you got a goal in mind where you're like, I'm going to go now push myself and do this kind of trip? Or?
Well, yeah, like just with the ease from the start, when I was just had in mind, okay, father-son trip, right? And I've just pushed that out to like wife and 2 kids. And there was such ease with that. My wife loved it so much. Like, she didn't have to help me set up a tent. She didn't have to help me pack down a tent. She didn't have to touch anything, which was like super rare. And for her, she was just so relaxed. She was like, I'll do that again. And so now I've started the talks of like, all right, trip around Australia when surfing's done and whatnot. And she's like, I can see that happening. And for me, the outdoors, it's just like, once you start, I just love that feeling of being outdoors. And it's started to evolve into that now where I'm, I just chipping away at the wife and, and honestly the products has made that so easy, and she's open to it, and for me that's a win, and the kids love it, and I can see it happening.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because I've also been really keen to do the lap.
Yeah.
And one of the things for me is always, because I use tents, not trailers and caravans.
Yeah.
Like if I ever do that, I'm going to have to get some sort of trailer that I can rock up late somewhere and just open up and the kids can go to sleep. And really, I guess, I've never thought about this, but the ease of putting these tents does mean you don't have to have that trailer caravan experience. You possibly don't just do it in a tent.
You're so right. Like, and even if you're traveling to a location, and I found some of the van sites, I'm not that keen on staying there, to be honest. Like, I'm keen to get out and get down near a creek, or get to somewhere that's remote. And so having this stuff so easy to set up and set down, you could possibly use as a base as well. Like for me, camping, it's I way rather that than being in a van. So I'll be definitely using the products on my lap.
Owen, I really appreciate you taking us through your experience and your thoughts with the Dometic range, and I'm glad to see you got back into your camping, because I love it.
Yeah.
I can see that you love it too.
Yeah, man, it's brought a spark back to my life, and super stoked. Thanks.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, cheers.